As the Winston Cup cars rolled into Rockingham, changes that normally wait until the halfway point had already begun. Silly season with its driver, crew chief, and sponsor changes seem to be the talk of the garage. Our Stephanie Boyd has been at the Rock all weekend and fills us in on all the details. Stephanie?
Well, Tyler, considering we're only to the second race of the Winston Cup season, you'd think it'd still be too early for teams to start shaking things up. But within days of the season opener at Daytona, at least one top team had already made a personnel change. Despite the fact that Hendrick Motorsports swept the first 3 positions in the Daytona 500, third-place finisher Ricky Craven has already changed crew chiefs. Andy Graves moved over this week from assistant on Terry Labonte's team to replace Phil Hammer, who will now be chief mechanic.
It's a huge opportunity. I've been with the organization for a long time, and it just amazes me that they promote within so much. And someone could come in 6 years ago sweeping floors and work their way up to crew chief. But it's a huge opportunity, and I really appreciate Jimmy, and Rick, Papa Joe, and everybody in the organization supporting me.
Besides the news on his new crew chief, Craven also made it official that Ray Vestas will be on his Busch Grand National cars for 12 races in '97.
Pretty exciting for us all. It's a 12-race Busch Grand National schedule with Ray Vestas, and a little different colors, and but the same team, a better team. Hope to win 12 races.
Defending race winner Dale Earnhardt comes to Rockingham out of the top 10 for the first time in 4 years. He qualified 27th, but still feels good about his chances to repeat.
Well, you know, we run real good here, and just staying out of trouble, really. It's a tough place to stay out of trouble sometimes, but got a lot of good race cars and teams here. I think we'll be okay.
In qualifying on Friday, Bobby Labonte was the 3rd driver on the track, and he set the mark everyone was trying to beat. Labonte's speed held up through almost all of qualifying until Mark Martin came out with only 4 cars to go. He left it wide open and blistered the track record, claiming his 2nd pole of the weekend and the 33rd of his Winston Cup career.
A lot of bottled up frustration from Daytona that we kind of let out here this hopefully this weekend. Hopefully we'll have a good Saturday and a good Sunday as well. I was real encouraged by the performance of my race team at Daytona, and just really felt good. I know we would have, you know, we led a lot of laps. We'd have liked to win that race, but we finished 7th, and you know, we packed it up and came to Rockingham, and you know, we're having some fun now.
The only pre-race casualty was Jimmy Spencer's Smokin' Joe's Ford after he hit the wall in Saturday morning practice. Spencer had to go to a backup car and take a provisional. Even his luck, though, was better than some. Chad Little, Mike Wallace, Billy Standridge, and Gary Bradbury all failed to make their 2nd straight Winston Cup race.
Not making the first 2 races, it really hurts. I mean, it's really forced us to, you know, we've answered a lot of questions about our team, and you know, there's some things still that we need to correct, and I think we know where most of the problem is right now, and it's nobody's fault. It's just that we're a new team, and I think we're down on horsepower.
As far as provisionals, besides Spencer's, others went to Michael Waltrip, Loy Allen, Robbie Gordon based on Felix Sabates' car owner points, and Bill Elliott, who just last weekend had an impressive 4th place run at Daytona. And also absent from this field is veteran car owner Bud Moore, who still hasn't found sponsorship and withdrew his entry before the weekend even started. Tyler, back to you.
Thanks, Stephanie. You know, the question is, can Mark Martin make it 2 for 2 in today's Goodwrench 400? He's on the pole. Bobby Labonte hopes to have better luck than he had in yesterday's Busch race. He's on the outside pole. Row 2 has Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon. Look for these 2 to challenge today. Jeff Bodine and Ken Schrader make up row 3. Schrader's in his new ride with Andy Petrie and would love a top 10 finish. Row 4, it's Steve Grissom and Ricky Craven. Can Craven follow up his 3rd place finish in the Daytona 500? And rounding out the top 10, Brett Bodine with his new sponsor, and Ricky Rudd looks to follow up his win at the Rock last fall. For Mark Martin, Rockingham seems to be a magical place. He's always dominant at the Rock, and yesterday was no exception as he charged to the front in the closing laps to beat out Dale Jarrett. The Goodwrench 200 took place yesterday at the Rock, and you could say that Mark Martin owns Rockingham. Martin had won 6 of the last 9 Busch races there. No surprise, Martin sat on the pole for the start of the race. First caution comes out when Mark Crow hits the wall off turn 4. Crow also wrecked in Friday's practice. Bobby Labonte also had a day to forget. Engine failure forced him to drop out early in the race. Martin led at the halfway point, but through 107 of 197 laps, there had been 6 different leaders. The race turned on the 5th caution when Tracy Leslie hit the outside retaining wall. Martin, the leader, pitted for new tires. On the restart, he was 6th, with Dale Jarrett assuming the lead. It took 9 laps for Martin to close to 2nd, and then as they approached the final lap, Martin passed Jarrett, taking the checkered flag for his 27th Busch Grand National victory.
He was real good right there, and I don't think we could beat him. And, you know, we gambled, but we thought that 2nd was going to be the best we were going to do, so we rolled the dice for 1st.
Randy LaJoie edged Phil Parsons for 3rd, while Elliott Sadler came across the line in 5th. LaJoie's 3rd place finish gives him a 29-point lead over Todd Bodine after 2 races.
So we come here, we put a lot of long laps on it, qualify better than we thought we were going to, and just goes to show that, you know, Laughlin race cars put together by a good race team, it's fun.
We need to take a short break, but when we come back, Ned will rejoin you from the shop of Daytona 500 winner Jeff Gordon. Stay tuned for the Goodwrench Service 400, which gets underway at 12:30 Eastern right here on TNN. As we leave you, here is a look at the rest of the starting grid for this afternoon's race.
You're looking at a very important piece of hunting and fishing equipment. And in a moment, I'll tell you how to use it to catch more fish and bag more game. I'll even tell you how to use it to bag this bag. Absolutely free. But first, watch this.
What makes an ordinary guy an extraordinary sportsman? The right gear, top-notch equipment, and a rock-solid understanding of what you're doing out there. That's why you need Outdoor Life to guide you along every step of the way. For under $1 an issue, we'll prepare you to become the extraordinary sportsman you know you can be. As we reveal answers to the whats, whys, wheres, and how-tos of angling, so you can become the true fisherman you want to be. If hunting is your game, let Outdoor Life awaken your instincts for tracking whitetails, muleys, and elk. You'll even learn what it takes to nail that elusive tom. With Outdoor Life, you'll know what's new in gear and equipment, what's happening in your area, plus everything from the care of your rifle to choosing the right 4x4. Call now and you'll also get this rugged Outdoor Life gear bag, free with your paid subscription. Don't wait. Call now to take advantage of this great offer from Outdoor Life. Become an extraordinary sportsman. Call for Outdoor Life now.
Yes, all you need to become an extraordinary sportsman is your telephone. Use it to call Outdoor Life right now. When you do, you'll not only get 12 issues of Outdoor Life for less than $1 an issue, you'll also get this terrific Outdoor Life camo gear bag. It's big, tough, lightweight, and even water resistant. There's an adjustable shoulder strap and plenty of secured pockets for your valuable gear. And it's free with your paid subscription. So come on, don't let this high-tech piece of hunting and fishing equipment go to waste. Pick it up right now and call toll-free to get Outdoor Life and become an extraordinary sportsman. Call this number right now for 12 big issues of Outdoor Life for under $1 an issue. Plus, get the great gear bag free with your paid subscription. Call now.
Gainesville Raceway has been the site of many historic moments, like 1992 when Kenny Bernstein broke the 300-mile-per-hour barrier, and at last year's race when John Force picked up his milestone 50th funny car victory. Both drivers come into this year's race as Winston champions, looking to rewrite their record books again. It's the Matt Tools Gator Nationals. Live March 9th. Coverage starts with NHRA today at 11 a.m. Eastern. Then at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, it's final round action. Only on TNN Motorsports.
Jeff Gordon brought back a lot of hardware and money from Daytona last week. He won the Busch Clash in this car, got this trophy for his car owner Rick Hendrick, and he got in victory lane, of course, in the Daytona 500. And later that night, Tyler Potter had an opportunity to sit down and talk to him in victory lane at Daytona.
Jeff, you've obviously accomplished so much in your young career. You've got the Winston Cup championship. You've got big wins in Indianapolis and Charlotte. But is this kind of the crowning jewel for you to win, actually, at the Daytona 500?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, it couldn't have been, you know, a more perfect timing as far as the way, you know, things have been going with Hendrick Motorsports here lately. We really needed something to kick off this season, and certainly to put a big smile on Rick Hendrick's face, and to go 1, 2, 3 out there was a real treat. But for me, winning this race, this is the biggest honor. I tell you, to come to victory lane for the Daytona 500 is very special, and I can't tell you how much it meant to me today.
You ran well early, and you ran well late, but then you had the flat tire, but it seemed like it didn't really matter that much. You guys just kept persevering, and when it was all said and done, you were there at the end.
Right rear, go to the right side. Go to the right side. Right side, one candle. Take one candle. Dick. You're going to have to let me know in case that happens again. Is it flat? No, sir, it's not flat. Yes, it's not flat. Try and stay on the front of that thing so we can catch a caution. It's going to be hard. They're coming fast. Well, it certainly could have made a big difference, and I really thought that lead draft was going to smoke right on by us. And luckily, I was able to do some blocking there and stay out front, and the cautions fell when we needed them. And, you know, that's what it takes to win the Daytona 500. Anybody will tell you that. Everything has to go your way. And even though at times it looked like they weren't, in other ways they were. I mean, we were very fortunate. We just never lost faith. We kept charging and kept working, and finally found ourselves back into the lead draft. Finally found ourselves up there, you know, near the lead with a shot. And, you know, then we went for it there with like 12 or 15 to go on Bill and made it work.
How did you avoid the crash with Dale? And when it did happen and you realized that, you know, it wasn't going to happen for him this day, did you feel like it was maybe your day?
Well, I mean, the last thing you ever want to do is crash Dale Earnhardt in the Daytona 500. So, you know, I really wasn't trying to do that, and I don't feel like I did. It was very close. It was very tight, but it's two guys very determined to win the Daytona 500. I mean, I know Dale's tried for many, many years, but, you know, that doesn't make it any less desirable for me. And I want it really bad, and I knew I had to get ahead of him if I was going to have a shot at it. And that was my only opportunity, and I went for it. And we got squeezed pretty tight up there into the wall off of 2. But, you know, after looking at the replays and the tapes, you know, I think there was some aftermath after we really came off there that really caused the whole accident. Dale actually did a great job of saving it, but, you know, chain reaction, he got slowed up and some guys got into the back of him. But, you know, to me, that was just showing how determined I was to try to win the Daytona 500. And if that's what it took to win it, then, you know, I'm pretty happy with the move.
How disappointing was it not to finish under green? Was that did that take any of the luster away from it, or was it not? Obviously, you know, you still won. So.
Well, you know, it was exciting because Terry and Ricky and myself all got to come across the line, kind of 3 wide there. That meant a lot for Hendrick Motorsports. But you always want to end under green, especially a big race like this. But you know, really, to me, the race was when we raced Bill Elliott there on that last restart. That was the determining moment of the Daytona 500 in '97, and when we were able to make the move and get by him, and that's what won us the race. So it was an exciting show, even though it still ended under caution.
Hey Jeff, this is Ricky. Congratulations, this is a great gift for Rick.
You better believe it, buddy. This is the most awesome one for Rick. Let's come across here. 1, 2, 3.
You talked about your teammates, you know, for you to win and then for them to be right behind you. Just what were the thoughts when you crossed that finish line, knowing that they were right there, you know, in your rearview mirror, and you had obviously won your first Daytona 500?
I just couldn't believe it, you know. I mean, I really saw myself as a guy that probably was never going to win a Daytona 500. To me, this is the hardest race for our team and myself to win, for whatever reason that is. I mean, we've had fairly good success in Daytona, but we never have been close to a victory here in the 500. And, you know, you start to think that, and you start to believe that, and you just don't ever know if it's going to be your day. And even though I had some great feelings coming into this race, knew I had a great car, just didn't know if it was going to be that day. And as it turned out, it was. And I tell you, I was excited. This really was the biggest race of my career.
What do you think about when you came across thinking of Rick? You know, you couldn't write a better script for a get well card. This was the best thing he could have.
Absolutely. You know, he said it himself. This was the best medicine that any doctor could have prescribed to him. I actually got to talk to him driving in here to Victory Lane on the cellular phone, and it was exciting. I mean, I could just hear his voice and how excited he was and his family, and that was my goal of the day, to put a smile on his face, and the only way we were going to do that is to win the Daytona 500.
Hi, I'm Boyd Butler from Dr. Gas Exhaust Systems. We make most of the Winston Cup crossover and exhaust systems, such as the one used here on the number 90 Heilig-Myers Ford. In our store...
Really, I don't have a lot of other things to do other than race, so I'm not one to have a lot of hot rods or anything, but I do have a 59 Thunderbird that I really enjoy driving. I don't get to drive it much, but I mean, I have one kind of, not a hot rod, but it's 59 because that's the year I was born, and I'm just kind of proud of that year.
Well, I've got so many of them. I don't know, I don't know, I like the F40s are cool, the Bugattis. All that stuff you can't afford. My dream car? Well, I don't really know. I mean, a bunch of old street rod type stuff, you know, we're talking about building one of those someday, but I don't have a particular model picked out or anything. You know, just some type of neat old street rod, probably.
There have been no changes here at Hendrick Motorsports with the DuPont Chevrolet since last year. Jeff Gordon's still the driver, Ray Abraham's still the crew chief. But a lot of teams did have a lot of changes during the off-season. Brett McMillan takes a look at some of those changes.
Programs here, get the race programs here. You've heard the old saying, you can't build the players without a program. Well, that's never been more true in Winston Cup racing than this year. We're going to find out now if you've been paying attention during Daytona and see if you can match the right car with the right driver.
Let's start with the easy one. Ken Schrader's 9-year association with Rick Hendrick is over. Schrader is now the latest incarnation of the Skull Bandit. Taking his place in the Budweiser Chevy is youngster Ricky Craven. He gave up part ownership of the Larry Hendrick team to make the move. Steve Grissom plans to prove he's more than a cartoon character as he's taking Craven's place in the seat of the number 41 Hendrick Chevy. Another long-time marriage ended at Sabco Racing as Kyle Petty left to start his own team. Look for him in the Hot Wheels Pontiac. Felix Sabates turned to the IndyCar circuit for Petty's replacement, hiring Robbie Gordon. Morgan Shepherd and Rick Massanesson swap rides, and Derek Cope left Bobby Allison to go toe-to-toe with Jeff Gordon for the most colorful car. He's in the Skittles Pontiac. Doing okay? All right, let's make it tougher. Do you know this man? He was the pole sitter at Daytona. Mike Skinner makes the jump from trucks to start up a second Richard Childress team. This guy's switch became one of the most talked about in the offseason. Okay, so Larry McReynolds isn't a driver, but he is one of the top crew chiefs in the business, and he's hooked up with Dale Earnhardt now after a long association with Robert Yates Racing. Another big-name crew chief making a move is Tony Glover. He left the number 4 Kodak Chevy to join Sabco Racing. Now for some bonus points. Why are Bobby Labonte and Rusty Wallace in this story? Labonte's still running the Joe Gibbs car. It's just that that car is now a Pontiac. And Rusty's in here because you have to look twice to find him this year. Miller's decided to promote light on the 2 car and change the paint scheme from the much more familiar black. How did you do? If you're lost, don't worry. Silly Season 97 will start in about 2 months.
Well, thanks, Brett, for that information. I'm sure the fans enjoyed it. Hey, do you ever want to get behind the wheel of a stock car? Well, you can do it if you want to attend the Richard Petty Driving Experience School, and here's how you can do that.
The sensation of the speed the first time that anybody does this can take your breath.
The King, Richard Petty, on the Richard Petty Driving Experience.
First time out, you better let off right past the start-finish line and get that thing aimed to get in the corner, because most people have never experienced the transition of going from a flat surface into a bank.
It's motorsports competition with you at the wheel. The Richard Petty Driving Experience. For more information, call 1-800-BEAT-PETTY.
It's enough to take your breath away.
This week, catch what the stars didn't want you to see.
Next time, talk to your old buddy Ernest first, know what I mean?
Harry Anderson hosts the world's funniest Outtakes 5. Then, Frasier's Kelsey Grammer and David Hyde Pierce guest star.
I'm going to kill Bart Simpson.
A brand new Simpsons. And Hank has a problem that's so unmentionable, we can't tell you what it is. Wow!
Just kill me now.
A brand new King of the Hill. It all happens this week on Fox.
When I got rid of my gray hair, I wanted a natural look. So I didn't take any chances. I used the sure thing for a natural look called Just for Men.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. It's specially timed to blend away gray, bring back your natural look, and condition hair.
It's a sure thing.
Just for Men, the sure thing for a natural look. And now try Just for Men Colored Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
The suspect seems there. You see the weapon. Suspect.
A dangerous suspect tries to escape.
Foot pursuit. Foot pursuit.
And a deadly game of cat and mouse begins.
Suspect running west. Suspect now running north.
Down city streets. At breathtaking speeds. All seen through the eye in the sky.
Custody. They're putting the hand.
These are dangerous pursuits. Now, for the first time, Teen World Direct and Sky Action Video bring you this dramatic footage of real-life high-speed chases as they're seen from the sky above. Dangerous Pursuits is available only through this special television offer. Witness every thrilling moment as chopper pilots track out-of-control crooks in desperate acts.
Struck the garage portion of the home.
Driving through oncoming traffic. Dodging innocent bystanders.
Lost control. He's spinning. He's spinning. Smoke coming from the tire. Where's this guy going?
And crashing into everything.
Collision.
In their way. Dangerous Pursuits will keep you on the edge of your seat. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call this toll-free number now to get Dangerous Pursuits for just $19.95. Order now with your credit card and you'll also receive Dangerous Rescues absolutely free. Watch helicopters play a vital role in incredible rescues that were once impossible. Now you can experience how chopper pilots cheat death with nerves of steel to save lives. That's right. Both adrenaline-pumping programs are yours for only $19.95. This incredible television offer is not available in stores, so call now.
For rush delivery of Dangerous Pursuits and your free bonus video, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-592-6688. That's 1-800-592-6688. Or send your check or money order to Dangerous Pursuits, P.O. Box 10254, Des Moines, Iowa 50336. Call 1-800-592-6688 right now.
The Inside NASCAR mailbox is brought to you by Chase Authentics. Our question this week comes from Carol Weber of Lehigh Acres, Florida. If one of the regular pit crew members gets injured or ill during a race, is there a backup on hand to replace him?
Thanks, Carol. That's an excellent question. I'm Ray Evernham, crew chief for Jeff Gordon in the DuPont Hendrick Motorsports number 24. And we actually have backup pit crew members in case somebody does get hurt during a race. We also cross-train several people, so each guy can do a different job. A jackman could be a tire carrier could be a tire changer. We do this with the 24 and the 25. We also have a third pit crew of guys ready to go in case of an injury.
Send us your question on a postcard, and if it's used, you'll receive this fabulous shirt and cap from Chase Authentics, the choice of champions, the authentic trackside apparel of NASCAR.
It has been well publicized that Rick Hendrick, who owns Hendrick Motorsports, has a rare form of leukemia and could possibly have to have a bone marrow transplant. NASCAR has started a program to make the public more aware of bone marrow. Here's an 800 number that you can call to get more information on how you might possibly get involved and maybe even become a bone marrow donor.
The engine is everything.
What? It's the driver.
A driver will never see a finish line without a great engine.
The greatest engine will never see a victory lap without a great driver.
At least they agree on Haviland Formula 3 motor oil, the same oil you can buy right off the shelf. And also try Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze.
The engine's the first thing to the finish line.
Not in Indy cars.
Now at Pep Boys, get any 4 of our 35,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires at an incredible low $99. That's right, any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires, just $99. At Pep Boys now.
Peerless Faucet didn't come up with the idea for a spout long and high enough to reach over and into large objects. We merely adapted it for the kitchen. High-rise faucet designs by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
You see the weapon. Suspect is firing. A dangerous suspect tries to escape. And a deadly game of cat and mouse begins. Suspect running west. These are dangerous pursuits. Now, for the first time, King World Direct and Sky Action Video bring you this dramatic footage of real-life high-speed chases as they're seen from the sky above. Dangerous Pursuits is available only through this special television offer. Dangerous Pursuits will keep you on the edge of your seat. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call this toll-free number now to get Dangerous Pursuits for just $19.95. Order now with your credit card, and you'll also receive Dangerous Rescues absolutely free. That's right. Both adrenaline-pumping programs are yours for only $19.95. This incredible television offer is not available in stores, so call now.
For rush delivery, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-571-0707. That's 1-800-571-0707, or send your check or money order to the address on your screen. Call now.
GNN Motorsports coverage of Winston Cup racing kicks off in Rockingham, North Carolina. Last season at this race, the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, used his hard-charging driving style to pick up the win. This season, Dale's ready to repeat, but Bobby Hamilton hasn't forgotten what happened. Plus, the rest of NASCAR's best will be looking for victory, too. It's the Goodwrench Service 400, live today at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific on TNN Motorsports.
Take a look at this checklist that crew chief Ray Evernham has here at the Jeff Gordon DuPont Chevrolet team. From nobody to upstart, from upstart to contender, from contender to winner, from winner to champion. Now, they haven't checked this one from champion to dynasty. I believe they can go ahead and put a check mark on that one, too, because certainly they're way up there. Now, this week, on Tuesday night, Jeff Gordon was on the Dave Letterman show, so this crew gathered around the TV to watch him, and our Stephanie Boyd was there, too.
Ever since Jeff Gordon won the Daytona 500, he's been almost as busy as he was when he won the Winston Cup championship. On Tuesday night, he made his 3rd appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman, but his day actually started early with a media frenzy throughout the Big Apple. After a morning full of radio interviews, Jeff Gordon started the TV portion of his day with a stop at NBC's New York affiliate, WNBC.
You can't plan it, you can't write a script for it to turn out any better than it did.
After several minutes on camera with weekend anchor Glenn Walker, Gordon got a brief tour of the NBC studios.
This is Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien. Well, never been on this show, no.
I'm sure your day's coming.
I'd like to. He's got a great show going.
You know what I mean? Everybody gets...
He walked right wide, you see? Cool.
So did you say he's your next target? You've been on Letterman several times, so next you want to do Conan?
Yeah, I think he's got a fun, cool show. That would be fun.
Well, you want to go meet the guy?
I'd love to meet him.
What the heck? See it. This is Jeff Gordon when the Daytona 500.
Hey, man. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Big fan of the show.
Oh, thanks. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
He just won?
Yeah.
Good for
I
him.
wanted to meet you.
He's very low-key about the whole thing.
Yeah. Yours is the only of the 3 that he hasn't done.
No,
Oh, really? You got to come by sometime.
We'd love to come by some. We're doing Letterman tonight, but
good.
That's the one we stay up late for is your show. So we'd love to do that.
Very nice. Well, best of luck. You have fun tonight.
Thank you. Congratulations to you, man.
Thanks.
Show's looking awesome.
Oh, yeah. We have a good time.
Yeah.
Beats real work.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see you around.
Thank you.
Good
Take
to
care.
see you.
See you later.
This is one race. It's almost like you won the championship all over again, isn't it?
You know, that just shows you how big the Daytona 500 is. I mean, they don't do this for any other race that you win, and I think that's what's really starting to set into me. It's just how big of a race I've actually won. I mean, sure, you know, you can look at the history and pulling into victory lane was special, but it's the aftermath, the things that last forever that really are the impact on the sport and to yourself of how big this event really is.
Along the way, Jeff found out just how big Winston Cup racing has gotten as autograph and picture-seeking fans recognized him even in Manhattan. You guys have made this trip several times now. Do you love the city or what?
It's starting to grow on me, definitely. I enjoy it here. It's a lot of fun. It's so much different than any other place that you go. You know that if you get recognized here, if you're in New York, you know, with the New York media, you've done something special.
There was a lot of getting in and out of limos. Next stop, MSNBC. Of course, the biggest item on the agenda was a trip to the Ed Sullivan Theater for a visit with David Letterman. Okay, well, this is the third time. Is this kind of old hat for you on this show now?
No, you never know what Dave's going to come up with, but it's exciting to be on here again. I think what really makes it exciting is that it's for winning the Daytona 500. I mean, I've always wanted to be on this show by doing something spectacular, and to win the Daytona 500, that's the way to do it.
Did you happen to see the Daytona 500 over the weekend?
I saw the news footage of it.
Man, it's unbelievable. Look at how fast them cars go at the Daytona 500. Look at this. They just aren't kidding.
That's right.
Last weekend, at the age of 25, our next guest began his 5th professional racing season by becoming the youngest driver ever to win the Daytona 500. Please welcome Jeff Gordon. Jeff. The history of NASCAR and the heroes of the sport, many of them have not won the Daytona 500. Your buddy Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, well...
You feel badly for him?
Well, I'm feeling good about what we accomplished.
You feel badly for Dale?
You know, Dale's a great driver, and he's going to win himself a Daytona 500 someday, but not that day.
No, not that day. Now...
Gordon says he got a real kick out of meeting Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, who were also on the show. But he did have to take some ribbing from the hosts.
And I'm thinking to myself, geez, I wonder if Jeff left Dale enough room there. Did Jeff? Well, here, let's take a look at it. Here we go. There's Dale, number 3. Now watch this. Has Jeff left Jimmy enough?
See, actually, what caused that wreck was just too much momentum from behind.
Here it is.
Oh, plenty of room. There's plenty of room there.
He's plenty of room.
If you give Dale Earnhardt any more than an inch, he'll take a foot.
But Jeff did get a chance to take a shot back.
Take me and Paul with you. Take
Sure,
me and Paul
come
with you.
on down.
Me and Paul start hanging around with you. The worst things can happen, you know?
Yeah, I don't know about that sometimes.
Look at the speed that these cars are traveling at, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Unbelievable. Jeff, you're a nice kid. You're a great champion. It was a great day. I loved watching it. Thank you very much
Thanks
for being
for having me on, Dave.
Jeff Gordon, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Look at that, from the final episode of Space Volcano.
Oh, went excellent. It was a great show. I mean, with Bruce Willis and Demi Moore being on there, it was excellent. And Dave was great. He was very excited about the Daytona 500. Said he watched every lap. So, you know, we're making a big fan out of him, and that's exciting.
Even though he was the last guest out, late show faithfuls hung around the backstage door to catch a glimpse of NASCAR's young star. Then it was another limo ride to the airport to head home and get ready for this weekend at Rockingham.
This weekend's Goodwrench Services 400 at the North Carolina Motor Speedway had a different name and length in 1983 It was called the Warner-Hodgdon Carolina 500. It was stop number 3 on the Winston Cup trail. Dale Earnhardt in the 15, Kel Yarborough in the 28, and Bobby Allison were just a few of the early favorites. Dave Marcus in the 71 had a real hot afternoon after his engine blew in turn 1. Earnhardt tore up the Wrangler machine a few laps later. That dropped him to 33rd in the final running order. Buddy Baker almost made it to the pits. A little spin helped to slow him down. He too was done for the day. Not long after that, the race was done for the day when Mother Nature caused the race to be delayed for a whole week. Back to green, and the excitement continued. That's Joe Ruttman on the left and Ron Bouchard getting the day started in the wrong direction. Back underway, and there was a great battle going on between Jeff Bodine in the Gatorade number 88 and Darrell Waltrip. But this spin by Bodine dropped him to 19. Meanwhile, the man everyone was keeping their eyes on was Richard Petty. He was trying to break a winless streak which dated back to 1981. The next yellow was out when Yarborough tangled with Neil Bonnet in turn 1. A couple of more casualties of the Rockingham mile. In the closing lap, Petty was out front, but Bill Elliott in the Melling number 9 was all over him. The final caution of the afternoon flew when Tommy Gale, driving for Elmo Langley, slapped the front stretch wall. That left him with a finishing spot of 21st. Back to green, and it was the exciting finish everyone was expecting. Bill Elliott was doing everything he could to try and get by Petty. In fact, on the last lap, he dove to the inside, and he came up just a half car length too short, as Richard Petty picked up his first win since August of 1981. Darrell Waltrip, Lake Speed, and Harry Gant were the next to cross the line. Richard Petty, the 1983 winner of the Carolina 500.
The DuPont team getting this Chevrolet ready for Jeff Gordon to drive at Rockingham, and we'll cover that action for you right here on Inside NASCAR next week on TNN. And here's what else we have for you.
After capturing Rookie of the Year honors in the Craftsman Truck Series in 1996, Brian Refner was not re-signed by Ernie Irvin and Mark Simo as the driver of the Fords for 97. Refner's found a new home for this year, and our Stephanie Boyd caught up with a former ASA star to find out his plans for the 97 truck season. Everyone knows how tight-knit a family the NASCAR community is, and that may be due to the fact that more than a dozen siblings can be found in the garage area each week at the tracks. We'll introduce you to some of the racing offspring that have made racing their mainstay. After a disappointing 1996, which included only 6 top 10 finishes, Bill Elliott started 97 with a bang by nearly capturing the Daytona 500 last weekend. Elliott proved that the wreck at Talladega last year was not the beginning of the end for the Dawsonville native. We'll talk to the fans' most popular driver about his expectations for the new season. All this coming up next week on Inside NASCAR.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your VCRs. Speedway Spoofs presents the hilarious Bees World 500. Join world-famous comedian Killer Bees as he takes an in-depth look at the funniest race in stock car history. You'll get inside information on viewing the race close up, where to find cool souvenirs, tips on grandstand etiquette, and much, much more. So race to your phone and call 1-800-380-7404 or send $14.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on the screen.
Introducing the 1997 Miller Lite stock car. Sure beats other sedans. The new Miller Lite Indy car. No radio, no heat, but hey, look at that handling. And if it's acceleration you're after, take a look at the Miller Lite Top Fuel Dragster. It leaves everything else at the light. Every Miller Lite car comes with our 16-second roadside assistance plan. We say, shoot, shop, and compare.
Gary, what was last year's average speed at Daytona?
Terry, it's 154.
And what's the new date for the second race at Talladega?
October 12th.
It's here, the 1997 official directory for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, with everything you need for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, plus bonus information on the Busch Series and Craftsman Truck Series, including the new Texas Motor Speedway and California Speedway. It tells you how to get there, where to stay, and things to do.
What's the highest banking at Rockingham?
25 degrees, Terry.
You're good.
I know it.
Call 1-800-RACE-345.
Are you ready for more action, more danger, more impact? Well, your wait is over. The hottest, most intense, extreme crash impact of Crash Impact 2. 70 minutes of explosive, heart-stopping crash action. You have to see to believe. All new crashes from Superbike, Harley-Davidson, drag racing, stock cars, sprint cars, supercross, Indy cars, flat track, and more. All jam-packed on 2 tapes for only $19.95. Order now and get absolutely free. The new Extreme Sports Virtual Reality, featuring insane extreme sports from around the world like you've never seen before. You'll get the all-new Crash Impact 2 plus the Extreme Sports Video free. 3 tips that'll blow you away. Guaranteed or your money back.
To order, call 1-800-203-1616. That's 1-800-203-1616. Or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Some of the spoils of victory, gifts that were sent here to the DuPont Chevrolet team for their victory in the Daytona 500. Not exactly charity, but this team and most others in NASCAR Winston Cup racing do a lot for charity. Such was the case with Sterling Marlin. Right before he left to go to Daytona, a big charity event in his hometown of Columbia, Tennessee, and that is the subject of this week's Inside NASCAR Profile.
To kick off the 1997 racing season, Sterling Marlin and hundreds of his friends and fans gathered together in his hometown of Columbia, Tennessee, just before heading to Daytona. It was the 4th annual Sterling Marlin Charity Benefit, which helps raise money for the town and for a number of local charities.
Yeah, we started 4 years ago, and just, you know, it's something that, you know, I've been wanting to do over the past years, and, you know, talked to Larry Lockney, and he kind of got the ball rolling, got it all together, and when we first done it, I don't know how many people didn't have many, and it just snowballed every year. And this is 4th year, and it's really taken off. And you know, just like to thank all the people that come out and support us and support the charities that's going to help. And it's turned into a big deal for us.
So big that Marlin has no trouble convincing some of his big-time country music friends to help out. Acts like Diamond Rio and T. Graham Brown were only a few of the headliners, which also included one of Marlin's favorite legends.
George Jones is here, and Diamond Rio's going to sing, Mark Colley, T. Graham Brown, and a bunch of them. And got some coaches from UT. Heath Schuler's here, and Bob Hampton made it down. So just everybody's really pitched in and made this thing happen. So just like to thank them all, because their schedule's real busy, and just like to thank them for coming down.
And I've been fans of his daddy and his, and you know, and grew up just not too far down the road over in Waynesboro. We actually played ball against each other a couple times, you know. So, yeah, I'm glad to come down and do what I can to help out, especially for the charity here in the mid-state area and everything. It's a great thing they do.
This year, over $100,000 was raised. And if you didn't get to make it out, don't worry. The 5th annual Sterling Marlin Charity Benefit is already scheduled for February 1st, 1998.
That is a neat deal. Thank you, Sterling, for helping to make it happen. Well, our time's up for today. We hope you enjoyed the show, and our thanks to Crew Chief Ray Evernham and all the DuPont crew for allowing us to show you around their shops. You join us again here on TNN for more on Inside NASCAR.
show has been brought to you by Miller Lite. With the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. Drivers, race teams, and race fans, the 1997 Simpson Race Products catalog is now available, featuring all the new products and services for 97, plus Simpson's complete line of racer and fan gear. To get your copy, call 1-800-71-RACIN and join Team Simpson today. The official conversion van of Inside NASCAR is Gladiator by Glovell, America's #1 luxury van. Glovell, the way we put it together sets us apart. Communications provided by Racing Radios, the two-way radio provider of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, the Busch Grand National Series, and the Craftsman Truck Series.